What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome.
Yo, what is going on for this Friday edition? Best Ball Breakdown. I'm Graham, joined by Ryan as I am every single week. And we're going to be drafting a BBM team this afternoon, trying to win millions and millions of dollars and hopefully help you guys along the way. Ryan, busy week, fun week. It's the heart of the off season. Ready to draft some teams. How are you this week, man?
I'm great, man. Yeah, just getting some of the first OTA headlines starting up. Learning that all my rookies are amazing as I do every year. It's good stuff, man. I love the end of May.
Yeah, rookies can do no wrong in May. Christian McCaffrey is fully healthy in May. Every single 49ers beat writer is losing their minds about how good he looks at OTAs. We are back, man. Absolutely. It is very, very close to being full on back. Hope everybody that is listening at home doing well. Hopefully you guys are crushing your drafts. I want to hear from you guys in chat tonight. So tell us what you're thinking. Tell us how you're drafting. Tell us how you're doing. Let's get to it, man. I think we'll do a BBM team this afternoon. Let's see if we can get we'll do 20 seconds, see if we can get that to fill. If you're hanging out with us in YouTube, Twitter, on Discord, we got 7. 7 looking to fill here if you guys want to hop in. Now 6. Ryan, Underdog dropped some Superflex drafts this week. Have you gotten any of those? We just dropped some rankings. Chris got them up and got them looking sexy. Have you been drafting Superflex teams?
I haven't. It's just kind of personal preference. I just don't love the best ball plus Superflex combo. I feel like quarterbacks are valuable and stressful enough already in best ball that I don't super appreciate having to play a Superflex format. But yeah, it's there for people that enjoy it. I know some people are way sicker about all the different crazy formats than I am. So yeah, it's cool that it's dropped for sure.
Yeah, the 2 years ago was a brutal year for Superflex. All the quarterbacks got hurt by the middle of the season, and then it's one of those things, man. With best ball, like you're saying, there's just no replacement, obviously. So you're just absolutely drawing dead, looking screwed. Yeah, doing puppy Superflex. If you switch to that, I'll jump in with you. Yeah, Jason, I'll probably do some Superflex stuff in the next couple of days, but I'm more like Ryan. I'm like an old school kind of guy. I love Superflex leagues, though. Love playing Superflex fantasy, but yeah, Superflex best ball is already highly difficult. Let's be honest. The edges are very, very slim, and Ryan is just right. I mean, there's just a whole lot of we're best ball boomers. That's what it is for sure.
Yeah, it's almost like if you were forced to draft every team as a super robust RB team or something in normal best ball, and you just lose if one of them gets hurt. Basically, that's kind of what Superflex best ball is.
I did a few drafts yesterday when Chris and I were just going through the rankings and everything, kind of getting them up, and that was my first takeaway. Is take a quarterback round 1, you take 3 straight running backs, probably take another quarterback. And then just hammer pass catchers on Underdog. Keep in mind, if you are doing these Superflex drafts, you only have to start 2 wide receivers. And I've just seen by ADP, I don't think a lot of people are understanding that wide receiver 25 is now replacement level instead of wide receiver 37. So yeah, make sure you have that in mind drafting some of the Superflex teams. I know on Underdog, everybody is just dying to draft receivers in every draft, Ryan. You don't necessarily have to do that in Superflex. But hey, this is a best ball mania draft, and we are getting you prepared at fantasypoints.com. We have a really sweet promo going on right now. If you have not signed up for Underdog, code FANTASYPTS. Code FANTASYPTS will get you a $5 standard subscription to fantasypoints.com plus a deposit match of up to $1,000, Ryan. Pretty nice little deal we got going with Underdog. So make sure you're checking that out. We believe Underdog is the best operator in the space. That's why we partner with them every year. That's why we're happy to promote their products. And we love shouting them out. So code FANTASYPTS, get your deposit match to day. Ryan, last week we picked 12th. This week we're also at the turn, but slightly better picking second.
Okay, you got to scroll up for me, actually, Graham. I can't even. Maybe, yeah, I can't even see our pick order here.
Might need to zoom out, actually.
Something wrong with my view, but yeah,
there we go.
Okay,
yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah. Thanks, Jason. Yeah. We'll we need all the luck that you can get in every single draft. But picking second is definitely a nice start. Pretty much shoeboxing us into a Barkley team, unless you want to take Jefferson. I'm okay with that.
I mean, I'm also okay with it. One of my like kind of bigger stances is I want to be overweight on JJ McCarthy, and obviously picking Jefferson over Barkley some of the time helps you do that, helps you facilitate that.
Let's do it.
But yeah, we're okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I was gonna. You said JJ McCarthy, and that's all I needed to hear. So I'm good.
Let's go.
I'm with you. I've been drafting a bunch of McCarthy. Speaking about Superflex, obviously not doing a Superflex tonight, but he is the right price in the Superflex drafts. And Ryan, I mean, we're going to be drafting all summer. We need to diversify. This is already getting funky. Here we go. Jefferson, Lamb, Gibbs, no Barkley. Barkley fallen to 5.
Yeah, now I feel bad that we just enabled someone to get 105 Saquon Barkley like that.
Yeah, that's looking nice, man. And that's going to be a pretty nice spot to get some receivers. That'll be an interesting team though to look at. Yeah, we're drafting a ton of teams. Definitely have to get a little different in the first round. Ryan, are there any first rounders right now where you're just like, man, this guy's really hard to click. Like he just doesn't stack up to the first 9-10 picks. Is there anybody in that pocket? Because it's one of these seasons where I think receiver is very, very close at the top, but these 3 or 4 running backs are Barkley to me is in a tier of his own.
Yeah, I'm fine with all of the top 4 running backs and like all of the top 5 wide receivers. I don't love like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Nico Collins having first round ADPs, but I just prefer like the Brian Thomas Jr.'s, the Lad McConkeys to those guys. But I mean, I don't know, their turn picks and 1-2 turn picks feel like they suck every year. So I don't know. It's hard to like get too upset about it, I think. But other than when you're always on the turn, like we were last time. But
yeah, I like your Nico Ladd idea. I've been doing that myself. That's a great shout by you. But yeah, the turn this year is pretty tricky. I think Amon-Ra is the guy for me too, though. I was looking into this a couple of weeks ago, but like basically you take the games that he, JMO, and Laporta were, all healthy. Amon-Ra's target share was like 25, 24% team high, but it was very, very spread out relative to what it has been with him. Obviously, you're drafting him to be a 28, 30% plus target share player at his ADP right now. I think Amon-Ra is like the one guy that I'm a little lower on as well. Quid pro quo. Seeing Chase go at 5 today. Yeah, everybody must have had enough first round picks in their balancing. I think that's just right. Especially at this point in the draft season. BBM's been open just over a month. We kind of did that here with some Jefferson. I'm definitely taking Barkley at 2 most times. But yeah, Ryan just mentioned the golden words and JJ McCarthy. And that was all I needed. All right. At this point, man, we here have a wide open range of options. See if this guy gets back here at the top. Actually, either of these guys.
Yeah, this 2-3 turns really, really tricky for me, especially when T. Higgins goes ahead of ADP. I've just been clicking the running backs. It doesn't feel like amazing structurally, but I think it's fine. And Taylor at this spot would be pretty decent.
All right, we'll take Taylor over Bucky. I'm good with that as well. Bucky's a tricky one for me, man, because I did love Bucky last year, but second round pick for a player like on offense that we're kind of expecting it to regress some a little bit this year. Rashad White's still involved. Sean Tucker's still involved. JT full on bell cow. It is close. Let's see what this guy does here at the turn. He took Jacobs and McBride. You want to double up on running back?
I think we can. Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that actually.
I'm good with that too. Get Bucky a little past ADP, get a little unique here, maybe.
Yeah, slightly different build than normal, but it's
For
fun
sure.
to do the different builds on stream, I feel like, rather
No, it
than
is. And for
the
this
same
team,
like one running back, 5 wide receiver type of
yeah.
thing. That's
No, I like
usual.
it. And for this team, this will definitely be different because most people are going Barkley here. So we've got the pick differential with Jefferson, and then I don't think there's many JT Bucky teams. So that's quite nice. We'll spend the rest of this draft hunting for some receiver value. Kevin, happy Friday to you, my friend. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are drafting well. And yeah, just enjoying best ball season. We got a ton of different contests on Underdog and lots of different things for you guys to get into. All right, man, like from here, I think we're just going to be sitting back and taking receivers. McCarthy, we're going to have to get aggressive on McCarthy. McCarthy typically goes in the like late 130s. I don't want to get caught out on this team, so just back your mind. We're probably going to have to take him here at 122.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, from there, okay. Tyler's asking here, Ryan, I'll kick this to you. Thoughts on Garrett Wilson's in redraft? Not touching. He says he's not touching Jason and Olave. He thinks they're overrated. Garrett Wilson. He is a tough redraft question. He does not project as well for us. What do you think about Wilson's outlook this year?
Yeah, I'm just not very big on Garrett Wilson where he's going this year. I mean, at like a round 3, he went round 2 in this draft, but like an early round 3 redraft ADP, I'm just kind of out. I mean, first of all, he's never really returned that type of production. We all think he should and that he can. His peripherals have always been great. He looks great on tape. He's an awesome player, but yeah, he's just had like the worst possible quarterback runouts like his entire career. This year he gets Justin Fields, who is one of the worst quarterbacks in terms of just throwing away dropbacks and turning them into sacks and throwaways and sucking pass attempts out of the offense. So yeah, I mean, expect the Jets to be relatively run heavy, expect the balls that Fields does throw to not be particularly accurate, and expect there to not be a lot of like efficient turning dropbacks into actual pass attempts for Fields. So yeah, I'm below consensus on Wilson for redraft. I would prefer a JSN. I would prefer a Drake London among the guys that you mentioned, Tyler.
Yeah, I agree. London is a fantastic pick. I'm full on fade. I'm going to be even more aggressive on Wilson. Like I'm fully fading him. Fields in this offense is going to be very run heavy. Fields is a good runner. They've got 3 good running backs. This is a bottom 4 offense by implied Vegas points per game. Basically, they have the same implied point total as the Saints. No one's super stoked to draft Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed with Tyler Shuck this year. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be drafting very much Garrett Wilson. If this player gets here, I think we got to go there for.
Yeah, that's a week 17 game,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yes.
yeah. It's an obvious one. I was just looking down the board. Sorry. Shite. I mean, not a terrible consolation prize.
Yeah, Sutton definitely works.
Yeah.
And I'd love to click Kittle, but we kind of have to click another receiver here, I think, after the turn. But
I think we do too. We could definitely draft our guy here, man. Waddle, the Jonnu smoke. I think it's smoke. He just wants a new contract, but I'm just been clicking his name every chance I can get when we get here. What you think, man? We could go Waddle or DK.
I just prefer Waddle. We can take him. I'm with you on. I think it's smoke. I mean, right in the reporting, they said that Jonnu prefers staying in Miami on a reworked contract. So my assumption is they figure something out. I know they're a little bit in cap hell, but yeah, I don't think that Jonnu's likely to get traded. But yeah, even if he doesn't, I just love Waddle's outlook this year. Just got done looking at Waddle and Tyreek Hill in the strength of schedule series. The two of them have one of the easiest schedules for opposing wide receivers this year. There's I would say like a material chance that Tyreek Hill has lost a step and is just kind of washed and is not able to get that downfield separation anymore that we used to see from him. So yeah, just a lot of different outs for Waddle to like smash around 5 ADP.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, highly efficient player. Both seasons 22 and 23. Last year, the offense, you've been saying, it just kind of, fell apart. It's a little bit of the offensive line. You had a great tweet from the data account. Anybody go check that out, the Fantasy Points data account. Tyreek, last year, his separation score was significantly lower. You pointed out, speed is the first thing to go with some of these guys at this age. And he's now, he's entering his age 31 season. Tyreek has been, we kind of had a little Tyreek debate a couple weeks ago. And I just, for me, I've been kind of shying away. I think in best ball, you certainly can make the argument. He's obviously still got 25, 30 point win your week upside. But between the separation score falling off, between the targets falling off, between Waddle still being great at football, Jonnu still being great at football, I'm not a super big believer in Tua. I've been on this for quite some time. I think he's a good ball distributor, but I really question his upside. I still question his upside. Yeah, third round is it's the correct price for Tyreek, but I have been trying to shy away. Tyreek went 21 here. Waddle went 50. And given this offense and what that offense was, especially at the end of last year, like we can all expect it to be kind of back to normal, but I do think the ADP gap is too wide. Bendels is kind of saying the same thing. Yeah, too cheap. I agree. Connor, I see your question. Any hope for Keon Coleman this year? For me, in this Bills rotation of receivers, I've just been fading them for 2 or 3 years now. I'm going to continue to kind of do it. In best ball, for sure, when you take Josh Allen, absolutely link him up with Keon. I think in Bills stacks, I would only really want one Bills receiver. I think you just make one bet and you move on with your life, because I struggle to see a lot of upside with this Bills passing attack, Ryan. They've just been very spread out, pretty much no full-time route shares. They brought in Josh Palmer, who's a little redundant with Keon as kind of that, outside X receiver. I like Keon was coming on a little bit at the end of last year, Ryan. Then he hurt his wrist. I just stand like as a one-off pick. I have not been taking much Keon Coleman.
Yeah, I'm fully with you. Most of like his big plays last year, kind of in that stretch, were in literal like one wide receiver sets, which I'm not sure he ever sees now with Josh Palmer, because yeah, as you said, they're just a little bit redundant. He's kind of that downfield like field stretcher separator archetype, and probably does it a bit better than Keon Coleman does at this point in their careers. So yeah, I'm not really too big on him either.
Yeah, good pick with Allen, though, for sure, because Coleman's always been a pretty good touchdown scorer. If you want to take, just chase some of the touchdowns with this offense, I absolutely go for it. All right, we're kind of got caught out at receiver. I was hoping maybe Judy or Odunze would fall. Slim chance that happened, though. If you want to go for a little game stack with Montgomery and basically take one more running back and just do a 4 running back team, I think that makes a ton of sense.
Okay, yeah, we can do it. I don't take much Montgomery, so we can, making this team weird in a few different ways.
Yeah, I mean, real quick. I mean, you got anybody else? 2 seconds now. We'll take
like Myers, but
yeah, we can get him right here. We'll get Myers here. Right, yeah. Let's see what this guy's got. He's got a 2 receiver team, maybe not. Yeah, you want to take Myers? I think he's pretty clearly the top receiver, both projection. Just scrolling, not Shakir, not Reed, not Diggs. Definitely not Pearsall.
Downs is close, but don't need to take him that far ahead ADP.
Yeah. All right, we'll just take Myers. That's fine by me. Myers is like one of those picks, man. We're like, we know he's probably gonna average like 12 and a half underdog points per game, but if he has this one blow up game, we got to make it in week 17. So we got a little 3-4 build here. We've got a Lions Vikings week 17 game stack with Montgomery and Jefferson. We also have a little Irving and Waddle week 17 game stack. I've already earmarked 120 for a quarterback.
Yeah, and all of our receivers here are or aside from uh maybe Bo Nix makes it back to us. That might be fun. But
Yeah, no, I
yeah,
like him.
our
I like that.
receivers aside from him are all kind of like later quarterback ADPs, which does make this easier too. I feel like every team we draft on stream is like a 3 quarterback, like wait a while on the position and just like stack everybody type of team.
That is, yeah. We'll change it up next week, and we'll get one of these early round guys. I've been staring at Jaden Daniels in the mid 40s. Obviously, he's kind of hard to stack if you're willing to take McLaurin in round like late round 2 or round 3. Then yeah, obviously. But Jaden Daniels with Debo has been something I've been really like trying to get more of. I think Daniels has obvious QB1 potential, like the QB1. And he's going in the 4th round when the running backs and receivers really, that pool kind of starts, that tier really starts to fall off after round 3. And again, Daniels going round 4, averaging 20 points per game, like plus has obviously the upside to nuke everybody in week 17. Daniels and Lamar, I think, have been kind of the 2 guys in that round 4 pocket when I do pay up for an elite quarterback.
Yeah, I'm with you on like not at all feeling the need to draft McLaurin with him either. This was kind of what it was in DFS and in Battle Royale all last year. Is like people would just reach on McLaurin constantly with on any Daniels team, and I think they were only optimal together like once or twice all season. Like McLaurin would just have all these weird like 15 to 16 point games that were never really like totally getting you there. Like, meanwhile, Daniels is totally nuking. So, yeah. I don't think you have to pair them at all.
Yeah, McLaurin and Garrett Wilson, honestly, are the 2 guys that I've pretty much not clicked at all. I mean, McLaurin has been a 24% target share receiver at his maximum, and they just added Debo Samuel. That is a high price to pay, wide receiver 14, 15. We might get our guy here, man. We could also, nope, Knicks did not come back. Womp womp. We could take Baker with Irving and then take McCarthy.
Yeah, I like doing Baker here actually. Both him and Bucky have like really really good playoff schedules too. So definitely down for that.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. We'll take Baker here. And I feel like we got to take another receiver probably.
Yes.
Unless you're just so like gross. Obsessed with Pacheco here.
I'm not obsessed with Pacheco cool. here.
Same.
I'm not obsessed with any of these receivers either, but
oh, stop it, Ryan. Look who's bad. I just threw into our queue. You come on, it's our boy.
You're right.
All right.
I wrote another Rashid Shaheed blurb today.
All right, so, I'm trying to think of somebody else to take here. It really is. I think it's Shaheed here.
Yeah.
Or so I mean, we could have taken Trey Harris, I suppose.
Yeah, take Shaheed. So in Shaheed's career, in games where both him and Chris Olave are above a 50% snap share, Olave's yards per out run is like 2.06 and Shaheed's is 2.0 even. Like they're equally effective receivers and they go 4 rounds apart and they've gone at least 4 rounds apart their entire careers. And I don't know why. And Shaheed even outscored him last year in their 5 games together, like by 3.5 fantasy points per game. It's really weird to me.
The back end, it's not just like the production. The back end numbers looked better. Like by XTD, Shaheed beat him. You were just mentioning the efficiency numbers, and he's the better deep threat. Like Shaheed last year was, I thought Shaheed was just like a great click for best ball as like a wide receiver 4, but he ended up being like legitimately a wide receiver 2 on a weekly basis, and then he got hurt, obviously. But yeah, Shaheed is one of the most mispriced players in fantasy, and I don't even know if Tyler Shook has to be all that good, man. Like the Saints are going to have to throw. That defense is going to be so bad, man. Like they're going to be one of the most. They're not going to be a good offense. They're not going to be a good team in general, but they are going to have to be throwing in a lot of second halves. Big Penix energy. No, we will not be drafting Elijah Moore. I am a full-on coward. Okay. He needs a home first, and man, what a crash out for Elijah Moore. Great receiver market. Still can't find a job for for Elijah. It's tough scenes. Tough scenes. Tyler, I saw that super chat. Didn't thank you for that. Thank you very much, my friend. $2 super chat. Appreciate you, man. All right, man. We're gonna round here into the 10th. I think what we'll do is we'll just do Baker and McCarthy. Do a two quarterback team, definitely 3 3 tight ends. I feel pretty good about McCarthy and Mayfield. If there's another quarterback that falls past us, but I think we could plan on doing a 2 quarterback team and just.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's feels good enough for me. Yeah.
We're gonna have to blow out ADP to get McCarthy to make sure we don't get again.
Yeah, I just have no issue doing that with McCarthy because this is just like a 12-player long quarterback tier. McCarthy happens to be at the end of it, but like he projects at the top of it for us. Like I don't think any of them are actually that different. I think all the ADPs are just stack dependent pretty much entirely on Underdog this time of year. So
yeah, that's exactly right. That's the way to view these quarterback ADPs. I think the one that doesn't really make sense in his tier is Penix, but I guess people are just drafting on, hey, like his efficiency by every efficiency metric in those 3 starts was really good. Like maybe he is really good. I can kind of see like, paying up a little bit more for his perceived like, unknown with the ceiling. But I'm with you. I think in general, like pretty much every quarterback is priced correctly, and it's just based on stacking. I don't love any of the receivers here. Like we'll take McCarthy for sure. So let's get through these. We'll take McCarthy here. Any receivers standing out to you?
Do we have to take a receiver? Can we take like no? David Njoku or Loveland still on the board? Like I feel like I'd just rather click one of them and avoid receiver. But
yeah, well, man, the Kyle Williams thing is wild to me. You know what, man? I think I'm with you. Let's do that. Thanks for talking to me in that. You want to do Loveland?
Yeah, let's go Loveland.
Yeah, 3 tight end build. We're going to do 3 tight ends no matter what. Yeah, for sure. We'll take Loveland over. I was having this conversation with Chris yesterday. So we've been like going back and forth about our rankings and stuff. And we've got the tight ends like significantly higher than most of the tight ends, significantly higher than ADP, than the receivers in this pocket. And we were just like going through it. This is a really good like example of it. Like, are you taking Jack Beck or part-time player Marvin Mims or Hollywood Brown over like Colston Loveland, who literally just went 13 overall? Like, yeah, I think this is a market inefficiency this year, man. Like, I think some of these tight ends are way too cheap.
Yeah, and I mean the reason is because like anyone that took a tight end earlier is catching up at wide receiver at this point. So, I mean, what that should tell you is don't take tight ends early on Underdog this year is kind of my conclusion with this, which we talked about a lot last week. But this is just like the
only guy I'm clicking at this point. Like, this is strictly a best ball thing. Like in redraft, if it's a 10-team redraft league and Brock Bowers is going like late 2nd round or Trey McBride's going early 3rd round. Absolutely. That's a huge positional advantage. You can make up, anything on the waiver wire. But in best ball, it's a totally different equation. The opportunity cost is very real. And this is such a good year for 3 late round tight ends. Q2M, I see your dynasty question. You're going to have to save that for the Dynasty Point show.
I can answer the dynasty question.
I was just about to say, do not trade Gibbs for 3 firsts. Do not do that.
Yeah, I mean, when you say hard rebuild, it really depends what we mean by hard rebuild. But I can't really imagine a rebuild that's so hard that I'd rather have 3 firsts than Gibbs. Like that, it's okay to have good players even on a rebuilding team, even at the running back position. I wouldn't try to be invested in like an elite running back during a dynasty rebuild, but I would rather trade Gibbs for like an elite wide receiver. I would send out offers for like, oh, can I get Brian Thomas Jr. or something for Gibbs if you're that concerned about like holding the depreciating running back on a rebuild. Yeah, it's really hard to get those elite players. Like the only scenario I do that is I have such a low value team where Gibbs is like the only valuable piece on it, that like the only piece worth more than like a first, then it's like, okay, maybe I will consider breaking it up. But yeah, I don't think you have to like just liquidate your studs for firsts on a rebuild.
No, and if like what Brian was saying, if you're in a position, man, where Gibbs is basically your only decent asset, hold him until the middle of the season, and you can get a king's ransom for a contending team that's looking to get a running back. I think that's your call, man. You need to hold your cards as long as possible, and Gibbs is still clearly firmly in the prime of his career. I'm with you on that. By the way, Q2M, I'm not sure if you've seen him in chat. Make sure you're checking out the Dynasty Point show every Tuesday with Ryan and our guy Tom and Jacob Sanderson. All right, we're back on the clock here, man. Cedric Tillman's the click. I mean, unless you want to fight me for it.
No, I will not fight you on Cedric Tillman. Yeah, you mean the guy that led the Browns in targets when he was a full-time player, and for some reason is the last guy drafted on the team now? I don't really get it either, but yeah, give him to me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, bro. He was looking really good before the concussion, dominating first read targets. I think you had an end zone target stat as well. Like, Judy was coming on. He was definitely playing a lot better, but it was certainly after Tillman got hurt. All right, man. Now what? This is the I think the big question of this draft.
I think you can click Jalen McMillan. That's not like the worst thing to me ever on like a team that needs receivers and can get like a spike week off of Baker. Just like it literally worked last year. I don't know.
Yeah, that was where my head's at, or Dobbs, just because Dobbs does catch the touchdowns for the Packers. But yeah, just we've got Baker. Go with just lean into the Bucs stack. Maybe Godwin's not fully back yet. Question here from Clint Ryan. How do you balance ADP versus your personal rankings? Do you go by ADP? And if you go by rankings, I find, or he's saying, if I go by rankings, I find a lot of my teams look or have the same similar build type. So how do you treat those types of situations?
So when I'm in a draft room, I am generally sorting by ADP, and I'm roughly kind of drafting off of ADP, but I will toggle to the rankings and use that as like a proxy for value, right? So not every pick am I just looking at the rankings and taking like the top ranked player. If there's someone at the top of the rankings and is the highest by ADP, I'm clicking that player essentially, but I will click higher ADP players that I can only access whatever at the 2-3 turn over like Devontae Adams, who I can access at the end of round 3 across different drafts, right? Hopefully that kind of answers that question. But yeah, I would definitely echo like making sure you're mixing up your exposures. You can also use rankings to like support a reach to get like a more unique team. Like it can kind of go both ways like that. But yeah, hopefully that was like an intelligible answer.
And to add to that, Clint, if you're finding yourself drafting a lot of the same players, I'm of the mind that if you feel very strongly that your player takes are correct and you are just absolutely nailing them, keep up drafting those same players. Like I'm perfectly fine going all in on certain types of players. The one thing I will caution though is like make sure you're changing up some of your structures. Like you don't want to be drafting a 2-6-7-3 build every single time. Like give yourself, make sure you're drafting the right structures and looking at your teams in these late rounds and being like, okay, like instead of drafting the 6th running back, I've got to nab an 8th receiver, or maybe this should just be a 2 tight end build. We just kind of made the decision here with Baker and JJ, 2 guys that were on, like not a ton of upside. It's not as fun to have a Baker JJ team as it would be like a Jaden Daniels and Dak team. Like I get that or something, but just, that's the one thing is make sure, player exposure is a one thing, but making sure you're drafting within the right structure for that team is super, super important. So we've got three running backs, all 3 with different buys. I feel really good about that. Running back, I think we'll take 1 more at most.
Yeah,
we
agreed.
do not have to take
this can be a 4 running back team. Definitely doesn't have to be here.
Yeah, definitely doesn't have to be here. We're not Yeah. No, we don't have to do it here. Well, I think tight end here. You want to go Hunter Henry, chase some touchdowns?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I was going to suggest Brenton Strange, but yeah, Hunter Henry, similar idea here.
Yeah. All right, we'll get Henry, chase some touchdowns with May. I don't mind waiting maybe for like Otten, but we could, if you want to just go like nuts on the Buck stack, we could. Definitely don't have to. Only sort by ADP. Anybody standing out? I guess Cade to kind of get the 3 tight ends.
I guess, yeah. There's nothing
Not
else
sexy,
here
but I
feel
mean,
like
it's
I
like
have to click. Yeah,
he is like the Zach Ertz, Pat Freiermuth of this offense. Like gets the underneath stuff, has a little bit of touchdown upside. Go
Yeah.
Pierce if you want to take another receiver.
I feel like we're okay at receiver, honestly. Like that's a pretty decent receiver room, and we just like drilled like the handful of later receivers I actually like. But
I'm taking Pierce. I'm making an executive decision. We'll take.
okay,
Wow, we'll
you don't like our receivers as much as I do. That's fine.
No, well, I love the top end, but I'm just looking at like the back end. Like Shaheed has a ton of big play upside, but obviously Tyler Shook might. He's a big question mark. Jalen McMillan is like, in my opinion, kind of a contingent play on one of these guys getting hurt. Like Egbuka's going to play a ton in the slot. I feel like we needed one more big play receiver, and it's about to die. Like that's where it just completely dies, and it's really kind of one big long tier. So we'll take a tight end last. McMillan over Elijah, and they have the stack. Yeah, just slightly. Just Jalen McMillan slightly outprojects Elijah Moore right now. That's just very, very slight. Ryan, you've been drafting a ton. I know I've been drafting a ton. We've kind of gotten a good feel for these last couple of rounds. Are there any players right now that you're finding yourself clicking more?
Let me think. You asked me the same question last week, and I didn't have like an immediate answer. I should just have my exposures up to just cheat and tell you exactly who I'm drafting a lot.
Sorry to put you on the spot. The one guy I've been drafting a ton is Isaiah Davis in round 18. I think he's better than Braylon Allen, who just went. I'm just bringing him up just because I saw Braylon Allen go, but Allen's going 168. Isaiah Davis is like not getting drafted at all. And he might be the better player. He's definitely a better pass catcher. Thomas, from our discussions last year, Tom Tipple knows how much I do not like Braylon Allen. Didn't like what I saw last year from him. Isaiah Davis is kind of a free pick to me on a lot of teams where I'm just drafting 5 running backs.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. Braylon Allen, I did just write this up for an article. The lowest explosive play rate of 51 qualifying running backs last year. Right in front of him that beat him were Gus Edwards, Ezekiel Elliott, and Kareem Hunt. That's one stat. Obviously, it's an efficiency stat, not always sticky, but like, yeah, I don't know. We all got like brainwashed on Braylon Allen in like the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season because yeah, he was definitely not great down the stretch. Later guys, I'm clicking a lot according to my exposures at least. Theo Johnson, who could definitely be our 3rd tight end here. Also, I'm mixing in some Kevontae Turpin. Does he actually see a full-time snap share? I don't know. I don't know that he makes sense on this team either, but insanely explosive Cowboys receiver, has kind of played a part-time role the last couple of years. Spring football legend Jake Tribby calls him the Tyreek Hill of spring football. He might need to get a new comparison there soon though, because that's starting to turn into an insult. But yeah, Turpin's interesting to me just in terms of the Cowboys have very few secondary and tertiary targets outside of the Pickens and the Lambs. So could definitely see him getting some of like the gadgety stuff.
Yeah.
Those are my biggest guys right now.
Yeah, Turpin on Dak teams, Cowboys teams just lean into Dallas being top 3, maybe top 1 in pass rate this season. I like that a lot for Dak teams. Receiver for me is like, if Brett Whitefield is as convicted on a rookie as he was Elick Ayomanor, I'm going to click his name like a ton. He is one of my top exposures right now. Like not super stoked on this Titans offense, but really talented rookie in a wide open receiver room, obviously produced well. I've been taking a ton of him. Man, we got Cade back, so we'll take him here. I think now this maybe if you unless you want to take Tyler Shook, this could be a 5 running back team.
Agreed. I would love Hunter here.
Yep, that was the first name I was about to click. We'll take him. I'm just doing a quick scan. Yeah, we'll take Hunter. Hunter pops, man. I was not expecting him to do as well as he did in yards created, but he's a good player and but tested out better than Blake Corum. Corum just kind of didn't really get on the field last year. Didn't really cut into Kyron Williams at all. I've been saying for like 3 years now, Sean McVay loves Kyron like a son. I don't think there's really anything that's going to take Kyron out of that role besides an injury. But objectively, Jarquez Hunter was a better running back than Corum coming out. We got a little discussion to chat about Patriots pass catchers. Honestly, guys, the only one I'm really stoked to click right now is Hunter Henry. Like,
yeah, the answer is Hunter Henry for me too.
Yeah, I mean, dude. So we're all expecting good things from Drake May. Like I've been on this. The Patriots have like the same implied point total in terms of just Vegas look headlines as the Cowboys. Hunter Henry kind of split work a little bit with Austin Hooper, but man, I mean, he's got a real chance for 6, 7, 8 touchdowns on a good offense. I think Hunter Henry, man, like he's one of the most underrated players in the NFL. Like if he had gone to a team that weren't your Patriots, unfortunately, like I think he could have been a really good fantasy tight end for a long time. He's one of these guys like Zach Ertz where it's like he's always open against zone. Plus he has the end zone targets. Like it's boring, but man, he's a really good pick right now.
Yeah, in Drake May's starts last year, he was a top 12 tight end by Underdog Fantasy points per game. The last time he was in a Josh McDaniels offense back in 2021, Henry had 12 end zone targets, which was tied for 6th most in the league. That was up there with like Devontae Adams that year. I think he scored 9 touchdowns. Like, yeah, this is a perfect late tight end best ball pick. I don't know what we're doing. He's also going to be like if I'm punting tight end in like managed redraft leagues too, it's going to be Hunter Henry and Brenton Strange, just like the early season streamers, just giving you guys that news ahead of time. So yeah, it's really weird to me that it goes so late.
Yeah, it's especially, I think it's just everybody has kind of in their mind resided to, okay, there's probably not going to be like a true league winning pass catcher with this group. But it's kind of wild to me that we're pushing Kyle Williams into like the 10th and 11th round, but the guy who's most likely to score all the touchdowns is free. So I'm with you on that. Yeah, Bones, Travion Henderson's been a tough click for me, to be honest with you. He's a great pass catcher. Offense is going to be much better. Offensive line should be better. I think Ramondre still has a role, man. Like, what's your view on this backfield? Do you think basically, obviously, Henderson has he has the bell cow upside for sure. Like if Stevenson were to get hurt, but out of the gates, like what do you see happening to start the season?
So I think Henderson will pretty quickly capture all of like the high value touches that we care about. I think he's going to be the primary pass catcher. I think he's honestly pretty likely to be the goal line back just with how it sounds like the team views him and how I know the team views Ramondre Stevenson. If we're doing Josh McDaniels throwback 2021 stats, Ramondre's rookie year got basically 0 usage anywhere near the goal line. It was pounded in with Damian Harris that year. So I just very quickly, I think Henderson can be on like the right side of a 65-35 type of split. And I love him for dynasty, but I agree that like the price is like to me right now. It's fine. I'm clicking him over Alvin Kamara, but that's possibly misguided. I click lots of guys over Alvin Kamara. I probably shouldn't. So,
well, I'm by the way, I'm going to finish out with my boy here, Isaiah Davis. Do a little 2-5-8-3 build. We could take Tyler Shook here, but I don't really see the point. I think Baker and McCarthy are more than enough. Yeah, man, I guess the thing I keep coming back to with Henderson is like he really struggled as an inside runner. So if that persists, do they give him the goal line stuff? Is it some sort of split? Because like Stevenson, while he did struggle with fumbles last year and he didn't have that many explosive plays, like he's still a very good inside runner, like very, very good. And I think he could be in a little bit of a thorn in Henderson's side, but there's no doubt that like Henderson has the pass catching role on lock. That is for sure. He was really good in pass protection as well. Ryan, fun little team. We got a Baker, basically Baker with Bucky and McMillan, McCarthy and Jefferson. We got 2 week 17 game stacks. We've got little Bucks and Waddle. We've got a little McCarthy plus Montgomery. I like how we waited on these last 2 running backs here too. Didn't force anything in those mid rounds of, rounds 10, 11, 12, where it just gets really, really dead and gross. A lot of touchdown upside on this team, man. Taylor, Montgomery, and obviously Bucky for the pass catching. Bones, last question here, getting out of here. No fear of Rodgers going to Minnesota? Nah. I think that would have happened already. If Rodgers were going to go to Minnesota, it just seems like the Vikings they're all in. They're all in on McCarthy, as they should be, with your, first round rookie. If, for whatever reason McCarthy doesn't pan out, they'll be back in the pool. But Rodgers to me is just like a stopgap guy. Perfect for the Steelers, but never really made much sense for the Vikings.
Yeah, I think Rodgers wanted to go to Minnesota. I think that's why we were getting those rumors a few months ago. But yeah, from my understanding, the Vikings insiders on Twitter that I think know what they're talking about, that was never really a realistic possibility.
Yeah, he wanted to. He wants to play with Jefferson and get some revenge against his Packers. But yeah, not going to happen. Great seeing my friend. This is a fun one for sure. Guys, Underdog is drafting contests daily again. If you have not signed up for Underdog Fantasy, make sure you're using our code FANTASYPTS. That is FANTASYPTS. Get a $5 standard subscription along with a promo deposit match up to $1,000. Ryan, we will be back on Wednesday next week, usual time at 4 p.m. We're going to do 2 drafts every week moving forward. Just double the fun, but also double the information, hopefully double the money in our bank accounts, drafting more teams. For Ryan, for Tom behind the glass, making us look and sound sexy, I'm Graham. Have a good weekend, everybody, and we'll see you at the top of the leaderboards.
What? Why are you shaking your head? You're welcome.